afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Sight, Defender of the Fatherland. We are here to a 1 versus 1 on Crossing in the Woods. Between the south, we got AbsoluteMachine fighting here for the Soviet Union, for the 315th Rifle Division, holding the crossing here against the fascists, launching a counterattack to relieve a surrounded garrison here under the command of Miragefla, fighting for Germany, Deutschland, and the 7th Panzer Division. We got here assault support, festering armor, and Luftwaffe supply doctrine, with 3 infantry bulletins there, all 4 Panzer Grenadiers by the way, versus AbsoluteMachine's Guard motor, armored assault tactics, and terror tactics, with 3 infantry bulletins there. Double Pioneer start by the here from Miragefla to grab more territory if the men remember to stand on the point. Yeah, remember to stand on the point. What is the point anyway? Sure, no, it's that thing over there. Engineer conscript start there with a special rifle command start there for AbsoluteMachine, which could indicate penal troops, scout cars, and snipers here in the early game, sort of pressure Miragefla a bit more aggressively, and that way sort of try to wrest control that way. Points are being seized by conscripts, more pioneers sitting out there. In the west, pioneers sitting out there. Bit of sort of east and west there, trying to push for both fuel points. It looks like he's sort of pushing for the eastern fuel point more aggressively. With Pioneers and the Grenadiers, we got a sniper start there for AbsoluteMachine against Mirage. I'm going to try and sort of bleed him out that way. Get a few well-placed hits here and there and bleed out the fascists. Conscript going straight for the fuel point there. Almost got the munitions there. There we go. Pioneers on the fuel point. Grenadiers standing about ready nearby. And more Grenadiers arriving. We'll be heading centrewards, or we'll be moving over to support the rest of the forces in the east there for Miragefla. We shall find out. Pioneers pushing westward. Sniper almost done there for AbsoluteMachine. Of course, the magical question will be how will Miragefla react to the sniper? Will he get the sniper of his own? Will he try and get out the 2-2-2 to that way, counter it? That's sort of the two greater directions. The other one is basically just try to rush the sniper with other units and kill the bastard that way, which is also an option, of course. Not quite as sort of direct in some ways, or at least more direct to be able to kill it. Sandbags up here, but pulling back quickly to grab the point here. We got the first shots fired here in the east. We got sniper fire there, killing poor Otto. And you need to take a position there in that really small shed. The shack. The socialist shack. More conscripts there for AbsoluteMachine. No penal troops here in the early game. You'd figure, with a special rifle command, you'd at least try to get at least one squad. But so far, just conscripts. Snipers miss and quickly bolt away. Feeling they've ruined their chances. There we go. Grenadiers flanking from the other side. Good work there. In fact, might have been what they were sniping at, not to the units here. In which case, that was not a miss. More of a shit. Fascists. Sort of move there. We got an enemy falling up here from Miragefla. We got wire there being laid down in the center of the map. Quickly trying to establish a bit of control that way by preventing AbsoluteMachine from rushing through the center victory point area here, forcing them to move through here or here that way, sort of trying to divert movement a bit more. More conscripts there for AbsoluteMachine. Again, no penal troops there as of yet. Pioneers been caught here by the conscripts. Most of the guards there was the Pioneers engaged out in the open, but looks like the conscripts can't land a bloody hit, and there we go, Grenadiers flanking in. And in the west there, we got conscripts advancing further. We got MG4 up there trying to block the advance. Good work there by Miragefla. They're a bit risky at the same time. If the conscript not taking that specific path there, well, his MG4 took him that maneuver and cut to ribbons. But in this case, though, that works out reasonably well there for Miragefla. The conscripts are halted brutally and sent running. In the east there, snipers with engineer support pushing onwards, getting to the fuel point there. Though, of course, at this very same time, his western fuel point has been left open there to Miragefla. Of course, has left his fuel point open, so both players are essentially leaving their fuel points open for the chap to grab. Take up there for Miragefla, which is probably why he's retreating one of his pioneers. Got to get things up there rapidly. We got S-mines here in the crossing. Specifically, also note the way he's placing. He's placing it right behind some of the trees that are making it harder for AbsoluteMachine to actually spot the signs if he's not quite paying attention, in which case, again, he's more likely to get a few losses there. So, a definite clever way of using the S-mines by using natural terrain and the natural camera angle to catch your opponents off guard. Sandbags down there, but in good use of sandbags to set up defensive positions, make it harder for the Germans to counter-attack. We got light mechanized company going up there, and in the west, we got the point they seized by the Pioneers. No attempt to focus on wiring off here. Or there, fuel point almost seized. There, snipers advancing, leading the way for the rest. And we got the 2-2 there for Miragefla, so he's not going to try and get into the counter-sniper game. Instead, he's just going to go for the hunt down the bastard and shoot them to bits game, which, in my personal opinion, is also a better game to try and play. Of course, at the same time, if he keeps conscripts and other elements like gas near the sniper core, it's going to be a bit tricky to pull off that game. But that is that. Conscious they're advancing, Sniper keeping watch. In these, we've got Grenadiers with the Pioneers there pushing forward, but they're going for the cough. We've got the 2-2 out here. Nothing further back at base. Miragefla has not really got anything to really assist around here now at the moment. But there you go, Grenadiers starting back. We got one light machine gun up there for him. We got Conscript up to the other side. 2-2 then engaging the Conscripts out in the open. Do we get an anti-tank grenade response? Yes, indeed. In fact, he was already preparing for it. So, yeah. Having not seen a counter sniper, probably assumed the 2-2, in which case going for anti-tank grenades tend to be a very good idea. There you go, quick anti-tank grenade, but the Conscripts are taking quite a bit of damage out and open to the light machine guns and to the 2-2. Engineers moving about here. No, oh, we do have mines though, actually. Never mind. Never mind. But overall, there's some good sharp moves there. AbsoluteMachine cutting off Miragefla from all of his resources in one blow there. Didn't do too much damage, but resource-wise, they're still going to hurt him a bit. Plus, it's going to prevent him from pushing forward. So in this case, we've got MD-42 then catching the Conscripts out in the open. Bit close there for Miragefla, but in this case, it did work out nicely. Pioneers continuing down westwards. We actually got a bunker being set up here to defend the fuel point directly. That's definitely one way of doing it. We got S-Mans there going off on the Conscripts a bit here again. This time, though, not quite so well hidden, but still works out there and gets a few kills. A big S-Man field could have wiped the Conscript squad. S-Mans, in fact, surprisingly effective at hurting retreating units compared to regular mines. Due to the sheer density of mines, meaning overall retreat bonuses don't quite affect so much, so the overall can sort of catch the unit with a big S-mine field. You actually have a much higher chance of wiping it. Sniper concentrating westwards there. Bunker almost ready to be set up there for Miragefla and the 7th Panzer Division as it leads forwards. There's only been a fuel there, which pretty much plus with the 2-2s means he can't really take up anytime soon. As for AbsoluteMachine, we of course have take up there, though of course he's also been a bit hurt there in the fuel department. On the other hand, he hasn't really been cut off from a lot of his surrounding resources, so he does have a slightly, though still over Miragefla in the resource department. Engineers here being surrounded by a lot of Germans, a lot of heavy fire there, wrecks against the windows and the walls. In the west there we got advance here, we got machine gun bunker being upgraded there, it needs to get into cover. And even then, there might enter some problems there once the machine gun bunker gets set up here. As for those wondering why no concrete bunkers like Companies 1, well, this is the Eastern Front, and generally there, the Wehrmacht was not really the type to dig up a lot of defense there, in part because Hitler thought, you know, that would encourage the men to retreat. So in many cases, any defenses would be more of the earthen dug into the ground with a bit of wood and some sandbags type. Little fun fact there, it's not like on the Western Front where again those sort of large defenses prepared ahead of time in many cases. I mean, the closest they did have was sort of a improvised sort of thing, or more a pre-manufactured bunker that could be wheeled forwards then pumped into a hole. Actually, can't quite remember the name of it. It was sort of a little weird thing there, basically sort of pre-fabricated bunker that could just be popped into any hole dug beforehand. They used those quite a bit actually. As opposed to Relic could have gone for that one. Would have been a very interesting thing to see. So there you go. Conscript there being hunted down, but the 2-2 might get a wipe there on AbsoluteMachine's Conscripts. He's not gone for Doctrine yet. He can soon go for the T-70 here. And there we go, wiped.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
Might want to lay down some mines around there. Of course, you might be saying up these further things. 2-2's blasting at the bunker, suffering a bit there, but overall not enough to really dissuade them from, you know, plastering the bunker at the entrance there with fire. Actually leaving an opening there into AbsoluteMachine space. So yeah, sneaky setup there for Miragefla. He actually wanted to do some base attacks. In fact, he could take out the other bunker as well, leaving pretty much most of AbsoluteMachine's open there for the west. Panzer Grenadier arriving there for Miragefla and the 7th Panzer Division. Grenadiers are plenty there with the light machine guns and without. We've got a few countries here, but without heavy cover, any real cover there, they're not really going to have much of a defense here against the German troops advancing there. Sniper, though, doing what they can, but overall, the snipers, they haven't really done that much there for AbsoluteMachine. They haven't been able to really leverage any serious damage there against Miragefla, meaning overall, it might have been a bit of a misinvestment there, might have been better off with, say, penal troops. We've got a T-7 white, still flooding manpower, no guardsmen, no penal troops. All of those, I think, should be at this point considered some slightly heavy infantry. But we got the T-70 out, though. Snipers need to retreat, by the way. Super low in health there. AbsoluteMachine, absolute pushing his luck beyond what he could bear. But there we go, T-70 strikes. Trying to not to get close to the Grenadiers, risking a wipe. There we go, sent them retreating. Panzer Grenadiers for some reason they're continuing here. Trying to get a wipe there in the Conscript, but might set up for it. Oh, he got it, he got it. And instead of trying to take a round to get behind them, he actually goes the path head on. Not entirely sure what AbsoluteMachine did, but that was definitely, I think, a tactical mistake there. could have set himself up for perhaps a wipe down the Panzer by again taking the route around, getting up behind them. So a bit of a mistake there by AbsoluteMachine, which meant not only did he not able to save his conscripts, he didn't get the Panzer Grenadiers. In fact, he got nothing there. He's been doing a little bit of damage over the T7, now risk losing it. Need to pop repairs here to at least survive another hit there from the Pak 40. And there we go. Tiny sliver of health. We finally got some guardsmen out there for AbsoluteMachine here. He's still managed to harass Miragefla here quite effectively, so that's something there. But unit-wise, he's certainly suffered quite a few losses, and I don't really think they'll be able to do some serious damage in response there to it. 2-2s there striking in with autocannon and machine guns. We got more guardsmen there now. He's really going heavy with the guardsmen that way and trying to get back in the game with some more hardened troops with more heavy equipment there. Pioneers in a bit of trouble. T-70 there in need of some serious repairs. Guardsmen need to get to heavy cover there. So we got the 2-2 advancing. Pioneers almost wiped there. 94 to go. I mean, the entire western side now basically a mismatch of barbed wire, mines, and bunkers and machine guns. I mean, it's going to be a bit tricky there for AbsoluteMachine to break through without some artillery to lay down smoke screens or blow up certain elements. Decent luck, and that's going to need some serious repairs. He could follow up with another one, or maybe try and go for the H-26. 2-2's holding back. Then Miragefla is rebuilding and reconstituting his forces, getting a medic bunker there before pushing against AbsoluteMachine once more and the 315th Rifle Division. Almost got the fuel point back. 2-2's there waiting further orders. The 2-2 was actually based on a civilian car design, actually. Little fun fact there. Similarly, the 232, which isn't in the game, but was sort of the predecessor of the 234, which is again sort of what became of the Puma, also was based on a civilian car design. Little fun fact there about the early German scout cars, really. There you go, Panzer Strange, a lot of guards plus the country there suffering heavily. The Pioneers, Minesweepers, Pak 40s, Grenadiers here, Rifle Grenade off. Dodges it quite nicely, snipers opening up, they're covering up the flank, they're against sniper right here. This is not a good engagement there for Miragefla. Grenade off. Misses though, Coach comes out to get a wipe there. Careful, AbsoluteMachine. Guardsmen are doing a lot of their damage there. We got the T-7 moving up as well here. Grenadiers, a lot of trouble. Pioneers as well. Engagement that did not work out very well there for Miragefla, suffering a lot of damage, but no real wipes though. So that's I suppose a small blessing for him. But you can see that AbsoluteMachine is quick to follow up on it. The guardsmen, and we got a heavy mortality, a bit of artillery there for AbsoluteMachine and the 315th Rifle Division. Pioneers being caught here by the guardsmen. T7 moving up to port. And there you go, Pioneers sent running. All mines cleared out though. That was about 60 munitions worth of mines. Grabbing the center victory point there. Can soon consider taking up there for T-3045s. As for Miragefla, he has taken up, though he has yet to choose a doctrine here. No assault support, no Bestring armor, and no blue fluff supplies. We've got Guardsmen being caught out in the open by the 2-2s. Guardsmen attacking, fighting against Southern Grenadiers, pushing in there. No real cover in that direction. So the Guardsmen are actually quite exposed. They need to retreat pretty soon. 2-2 there under fire from the Guardsmen. Sniper T-70 falling a bit back here. Pak 40 down to a good hit there on the light tank. Heavy mortar to joining in the fun. Should add some pressure there to Miragefla. Still full retreat here. Do we have any fresh mines there? We go actually laid around the cover there, so in case Miragefla tries to use it, he's going to get an explosive surprise. So full rout there for AbsoluteMachine. That was not so great there for him.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
You know, Otto, I have a really good feeling about this place. Really good feeling. Yeah, you know, I get that feeling too, like, you know, we're really safe here. We could do anything here, and thus, no harm would come upon us.
At your command. Cargo trucks are now available.
Alright, we got assault support, a bit of a rare one, but officers, trucks, strafing runs, fragmentation bombs, and tigers. So Pommercore going up, then there you go, Grenadiers hit, Otto and Ludwig dead.
Are securing our territory.
And quick retreat there, pushing westwards now. Of course, still got the bunker. Of course, a T-70 could quickly deal with it, actually, if he were to push for it. But he's intent on regaining this territory here from Miragefla and the fascist invaders' hands. Takeover there by being done. Here we got the mechanized armor company going up for AbsoluteMachine, putting in armor from a nearby independent tank brigade.
is attempting to steal
Going
our
for the
sector.
points here. We got Panzer going to be hiding up here, ready to ambush anyone appear from nowhere and shoot them down pretty rapidly, or pop an assault grenade. Of course, the problem with that is if there's a T-70 in the way there, said ambush would quickly end up pretty unpleasant. Not entirely sure he's trying the T-70 up there. Perhaps he's trying to keep it in a reserve position, trying to what, getting whacked by a pack forward. But there you go, Panzer's arriving. T-70 coming up to support here. T-70 sit on the Pioneers. Panzer's taking a few more free shots. Almost got the Pioneers. There go, grenade off! Oh dear, that was almost close there. Guardsman retreat here. That didn't quite work out there for Absolute Machine. He should have focused down the Pentagon as quickly as possible. But I'm suspecting he is basically really worried about the Pack 40 and does not want to expose the T-70 to too much fire from it, which is causing him to play it a lot more cautiously than I think otherwise should try. In the west here, conscript being held up by the machine gun bunker. Apparently he forgot the Germans had dug in a position here ready to hold back against any Russian attackers. But he's got the mechanized armor company and can soon bring out a T-35. Of course, could be forced to rush out a T-34-76. But there you go, making into heavy cover. Problem is, his men are already suppressed, so they might still end up being pinned down reasonably soon. Of course, if they can run in the point neutral, the machine gun bunker might not be able to see this. They did get limited line of sight at some point within recent time here. Of course, not that limited. Guardsman almost got the fuel point there. He's actually managed to cut off Miragefla left on both his fuel points, and there we go. Ah, never mind. It was just reloading. Do you think he can't see us? Oh, never mind. He can. Hey, more to the laying down a smoke screen. That's definitely one way of doing it. It's definitely one way of doing it.
Guards troops ready for action.
Problem is, it's a bit short. There we go. T-70 pushed back. We've got the 222s moving in. Guardsman there, bit isolated again without any much support here. Got a Panther 4 on the way there for Miragefla. Guardsmen, they need to retreat. They're on their own. They're exposed out in the open. And we got two light machine gun teams that are just bearing down upon them. Pioneers are rushing against heavy mortar. You think he should, just instead of trying to constantly attack up here, where again, tells Miragefla where to position most of his forces, instead try to push for the west. Overwhelm whatever positions are here, then secure it, and then set up for a counterattack from Miragefla. No other option would be at this point, thanks to your time here for the mid-game analysis, to backcheck. But right now, damage-wise, he's a bit behind there. Miragefla, damage-wise, he's certainly also behind here. Though again, the light tank has suffered a lot of damage. That again does mean there's a lot more damage done. Then simply has been able to do a lot of damage to the 222s. Army value-wise, he's close actually though. But again, right there with the Panther 4, Miragefla sort of bounces ahead there of Absolute Machine. So Absolute Machine there would be lagging a bit behind. Resource float-wise, they're pretty close to each other. And points held, it's been a sort of lot more equal between the two. So I mean, in many senses, it's sort of an equalish fight here. It's just he's not really been able to hold any territory very convincingly against Miragefla, and he's been, I think, a bit too preoccupied with here. Not enough pressure on the western side, not for example trying to clear out the bunker, which in many cases has been left isolated. Which again means it's pretty handy for just stopping harassers, but again any sort of concerted attack, and that thing's going to go down pretty damn quickly. So again, a quick attack there, for example, could have forced Miragefla then to leave more troops here. To defend it. Otherwise, Absolute Machine could have quickly secured that, dug in, and then prepared for an assault. Instead, he's now trying to attack into Miragefla, who's got, pretty decent setup there, and overall a lot of concentrated forces, because, again, he knows there's not much reason to worry about here. Again, that's why I want to always, try and attack him there. It forces your opponent to have to consider, how much does he actually want to defend. Again, he really wants to defend everything. Again, that means leaving something open to the opponent. So, again, by attacking more there, again, it's going to create some doubt there and less assurity there in Miragefla's plans. Again, force him to, again, either split up or, do something else or just, again, lose territory. Whereas, again, here, if he just keeps attacking to that way, again, Miragefla can easily defend this, while, again, not needing to defend the other half. Again, that's generally, like, the worst of both worlds. That's generally something that Absolute Machine needs to do. He needs to, again, change his operational approach here to the battlefield. Otherwise, he might face annihilation at Miragefla's hands. So yeah, also get out tank as fast as possible. T-3045, of course, you could go for the T-3046, but with Panzer 4s out, T-35 will probably be the stronger choice there. Certainly less combustible in the face of the Panzer 4. As for Miragefla, maybe an orbital blitz here to get him more fuel, or munitions, or just fuel and munitions, depending on where he positions it. An officer would be helpful, I think, but at this point, not necessarily necessary. You could go for a strafing run to lay down some support here and there against the opponent's troops, and of course on the over blitz you can try and consider rushing ahead for tier 4 and Panthers that way, sealing the deal by having a really big tank on the battlefield, which again causes some players to feel themselves a lot more pressured. I mean, a Panther can still exert a lot of psychological pressure on the battlefield, and in that sense, over blitz into a Panther could work out like that for Miragefla. and certainly with assault support, it's probably one of the better ways of trying to go for a Panther reasonably safely. So I mean, that could be an option there for Mirage to consider. Though, of course, he might just end up trying to sit up for the Tiger, just go for a lot of Panzer IVs, maybe a Stuke to support it in case, you know, we see some heavy armor play there from AbsoluteMachine. But let's return to the fight here and see what actually happens. But looks like he's finally giving up here in the east for now. And there you go, Luftwaffe strikes with the Stuka, which were meant for some ground support. Teasing west for a second, the Pioneers striking in, 5 kills, almost got the Pioneers wiped there. Panzer IV though right there on the field, shoots, misses, T-70 falls back, and now we can sort of see a bit of a problem here for AbsoluteMachine. He's got basically only anti-tank rifles to defend against a Panzer IV. At this point, he might be forced to go for the support accommodator, to at least go for the field gun. He's going to have to wait out there a bit before he can get out something to hold the Panzer IV. And again, almost got the machine gun bunker there still. Guardsmen, he's got 3 squads of Guardsmen though. With Mark Equal, that could be enough. In this case, the 3 guard squads does cause Miragefla to break off. Stuke aircraft there circling about. But the Stuka was very much sort of designated for ground target because it wasn't really good against other aircraft. It was simply not very maneuverable. Opening up in the T-70 up to the T. But there we go, Pack 40 in the way. He's going to have to pop self-repair. He's not doing it. Oh, there we go. Does just nick of time. It's a bit of a trick amongst more veteran players to basically sort of try and pop the self-repair. That way you can always survive 3 shots rather than just the usual 2. It's a bit of a trick that, of course, does mean the T-70 can't fire back. But at that point, you're sort of more concerned with keeping the thing alive rather than, you know, getting off another shot. Now we can sort of see Miragefla a bit more spread out across the front line. Again, that does give him more option to push through, but at the same time with the 2-2s of the Panther IV, at the same time, Miragefla's got plenty of counter-attack odds. But there you go, Guardsman has the 2-2s, 1 damage here, might be able to get 1, gets away. Panther IV Grenadiers all firing in, and the Guardsman out in the open, then forced retreat. AbsoluteMachine realised what kind of quagmire he's managed to descend his men into, and pulls back before it's too late. T-70 need repairs, he's getting closer there to the T-35. In fact, there we go, we got the T-3045 out here for AbsoluteMachine to try and deliver the fist of the Soviet Union towards Miragefla's face. But yeah, a lot of men there taking quite a brutal beating from Miragefla's Panzerwaffe as the 7th Panzer Division attacks here again, very boldly aggressive. In fact, he's almost got the other bunker there as well. In fact, again, if he gets that, he could pretty much launch a reasonable assault here into AbsoluteMachine's base. There'd only be then really this bunker left to deal with. So again, if he attacks for here, he could basically get machine guns up, then begin pinning down AbsoluteMachine's men within his own base. That's an option there for Miragefla to consider. Though again, it's pretty much the option most players never consider. There we go, T-35 out there for AbsoluteMachine. Rolling ahead there with its 85mm gun, adapted from a Soviet anti-aircraft gun. Fun fact there. Tank repaired. They did try, by the way, I think, after the war to sort of stick a 100mm gun on it. The problem is the gun is just too big. Basically meaning the accuracy is terrible, plus I'm pretty sure it caused the tank to be overloaded as well, and he wouldn't be able to carry as much ammunition. But basically never came about. T-70 up there, back here, troops moving forwards. Stuke on the way there to deal with the T-35 threat. That's probably what Miragefla is thinking in that regard. I mean, the Stuke's going to be pretty handy with its gun there, the 75mm Sturmkanone, or Stuke. Not Stuke, but Stuke. Fun fact. Pioneers being pushed back here by a lot of Guardsmen engineers. Almost got them wiped. And there go annihilated. Also a fun fact about the Stuke. Even the early models apparently actually in some cases had a coaxial machine gun there mounted in the well, mantlet there, though it was a lot rarer on the early model Stuke 3Gs, but apparently they actually did. I actually seen photos of it, so fun fact there. Fun fact there. There you go, Panzer IV flanking against the T-35 there, fails to penetrate. T-35 there, there's no issue with that. T-70 penetrates the Panzer IV as well. There goes Stuke opening on the Panzer T-34, forcing it to fall back. That Panzer IV down to less than half health here. Not enough Guardsmen nearby to support the tank, and there you go, you can see Miragefla is actually pulling back in the face of such an armoured threat. theoretically anyways. But there you go again, with all the effort here on the west side again, now he can more easily push through the east again. That's the importance sometimes of just attacking somewhere else. Even if you want this place, it can force your opponent to have to shift all the resource towards the other place, then opening up to push back the other place more easily. And that's the power of, you know, baits and distractions and, you know, just pressuring elsewhere. It really forces your opponent again to shift his resources elsewhere on the battlefield. So there we go again. He'd done that much sooner again. Miragefla might in fact been a bit more trouble. Plus he could have threatened the fuel supply here much better. Maybe even gotten the bunker and even gotten the fuel cut off for a bit longer time. Always time to consider that. T7 moving up, T-35 good to go again, ready to strike fear into the hearts of the Germans. T7 moving up, there we got the MD-40 getting blasted. T-70 barely hit there, but the Stuka does get away. Garsman pinned down to the ground. Sniper needs to retreat, almost wiped out there. Oh, he's going to lose it. Yup, wiped there, not so good there. Stuka versus the T-35. T-35 lands a good hit there against the Stuka. Stuka penetrate, but the T-35 is hot on the heat. Nope, pulls back here with the threat of the Panzerfaust. Pulls back there, close to Veterans 1. Mortar fire raining back and forth here with Miragefla putting up his own mortar. Garsman pushing forward. Stuka rolling back. No Pindlemat machine gun. And there you go, Garsman comes here versus the 222, close to Veterans 3. Grabbing the point there. Overall, we can see now AbsoluteMachine being a lot more bolder there against Miragefla. And again, Miragefla again, due to all the sort of shifting there again, earlier force now again, it's a bit more an awkward position. Because again, now you might realise AbsoluteMachine can actually attack from more angles, which again means he has to guard more against them. Rather than just again guarding himself from being attacked through here, which is a lot bloody easier. T7 moving up here, catching a Grenadier squad with its 45mm gun, sending them running there. Painted up machine gun away for the Panther 4. And for the Stug, it's also got a ton of munitions there. You can see now AbsoluteMachine is a lot more sort of stronger there against him. T7 being caught by the Stug. Veterans won their game. Target weak point, heat rounds up. T70 I don't think he's going to make it out alive. And there goes Stug setting up there to cut it off. And gets the T70 there, blown to bits. That's a 75mm round, goes through the armour. T-35 there might try and catch a Stug. There he goes, shoots, hits. If he reverse moves there, he could actually target weak point the T-35 and get it. But no, mistake there, mistake on the Miragefla. That Stug is dead. Nope, keep behind it, keep behind the Stug. Don't allow it to use target weak point. Right, so he's doing it. Might not matter. It did. Damn it. AbsoluteMachine, that was a mistake there. Actually allowed Miragefla Stug to live there. Panther 4 that bounces off the T-35's armour. T-35 there rolling away. Heavy mortar there being wound up by Panzer Grenadiers. That was not so good there for AbsoluteMachine. Close, but again, that one mistake there allowed Miragefla to fire off the target weak point and stunning the crew of the T-35 that prevented them from firing the gun. Not good there, not good there. So again, all of a sudden, again, AbsoluteMachine was ascendant, but a slight mistake that gave Miragefla there a bit more to work with. Boosting up the Stug as well in a sense. Giving it eventually 2 slightly higher rate of fire and slightly better armour. Got him, Himmel, Otto. That was close. Yeah, we might have to ask the Pioneers for a fresh pair of underwear. Not again, Otto, not again. Panzers there be sent running. We got an H-35 on the way to deal with the Panther 4, but also the Stug. Certainly the H-35 has a better range, though not quite the same rate of fire, sort of really challenged the Stug, but still better range and certainly also better penetration. Looks like Miragefla is aiming for the Tiger. He could also try and take a hit for the Panther. He's feeling greedy, but he's clearly not. No attempt to hit the cargo train. In fact, he's not really used to doctrine a lot here. I think he never could have done more with that. Troops here holded by the MD-42. Panther forming against the Guardsman. A bit of shooting there with the PTRS. Before being set running off. Still, he's maintaining map control there. Miragefla still in the back foot, but again, force-wise, there's a bit of a difference there, which really means unless Miragefla makes a big mistake, there's going to be really a hard time there for AbsoluteMachine to sort of maintain the status quo. But there you go, H-85 tank destroyer out there with its 85mm gun. In fact, same as the one the T-3045. In fact, once the T-35 hit, the H-85 was sort of not really made anymore. Of course, they still used it to the end of the war. It was basically sort of been replaced by the H-100. The H-100, though, first hit in 1945. Production was basically delayed due to a lot of issues, including the need to make a bigger tank destroyer chassis, which was actually based on the T-34 chassis. They need to lengthen it. And even then, the HU-100 suffered from being basically overloaded, since the gun was too big. Mines have been cleared out, going for the east victory point. T-35 finding in the centre. Pack 40 landing a nice hit on the T-35. Clears pack hits Victory 2 actually. Higher rate of fire. No attempt at defending here by AbsoluteMachine, but there you go. Guardsman sweeping forwards. There you go. Stuke moving up. HU-5 shoots. Almost got the Stuke there, almost. Using there the focus sight. And gets the Stuke. A tragic loss for Germany. Munitions there cooked up. Should definitely force Miragefla to be a bit more careful around AbsoluteMachine. Looks like he's just aiming for the Tiger, though, which at this point is not necessarily a bad idea. Though, of course, with HU-5 out, he's going to have to be a bit careful with it. In particular, if that thing hits Vetsi 2 and later Vetsi 3. And it is again glass of the Gasment, more moving up. Got a fragmentation bombing run there. Ooh, here, good move here, by the way. Note he's hitting at the unit, you know, not at the front line, more likely to AbsoluteMachine not being paying attention, in which case he's more likely to actually get a hit than even a wipe. That's definitely a neat little trick to remember when using, you know, off-map artillery and the likes. And if you really want to wipe there, try to look for the one farthest away from any action where opponent's not likely to be paying attention. It's an old trick from companies which really seems to have sort of been forgotten in companies 2, but in companies 1, one of the best ways for just getting kills with artillery and anything like that, look for the one just harassing and grabbing territory while everything, you know, is going on elsewhere. You're more likely to get a kill with that. Comes there versus Pioneers. We've got Smokescreen going around the centre to help defend and grab the point. Good work there. He's actually called up another heavy mortar all of a sudden there. But still, we can see that AbsoluteMachine's losses are basically rising there against Miragefla. They're still keeping Miragefla a bit on the back foot. It is increasingly becoming a struggle there, and there we go. Miragefla is moments away from a Tiger there to deliver perhaps the final push there for Miragefla and the 7th Panzer Division. HU-5 moving up there with its 85mm gun.
We are losing territory.
Just a bit more. Actually, he's fully pop capped, so he can't get the Tiger. He's actually managed to keep both of his 2-2s alive for this long. Panther 4 there under fire from HU-5. T-35 moves in, but they've got a pack 40 supporting. Down to hit down the T-35, which gains Vetting 2. Increased rate of fire, needs to get more troops out. Needs to get the heavy mortar supported, but they're covering the centre there. They're too busy covering the mortar and the centre of the map rather than you supporting his advantage in the east. That, I think, is a bit of a mistake there by AbsoluteMachine. 2-2s here dealing with harassers on the western side with machine guns and autocannons. Back here, healing reinforcement going on there, and no, he's not going for the Tiger. He's actually taking up there, perhaps realising he's got too much there in terms of pop cap. He figures he might as well prepare for a Panther then, or something like that, you know, in case he then loses, in which case, you know, I don't know, maybe he's just going for the hell of it. Well, he's just using the resources of the something, so again, he's just ready to do something with it, rather than just sitting about there with a huge float. Also, in case something happens and actually opens up that many resource or that much population again, a Panther could be more necessary. We got a push up here, but hold it by Grenadiers there. T-35 take heavy damage in the centre. Pack and Panther first fire. Proved to be ever the nasty foe there. HU farming up support. We still got the Germans here in the east. Panther fought with the Pack 40. Mines going off there on the conscripts and Guardsmen. Guardsmen there being almost wiped here by the Panther Grenadiers. They've got annihilated. Looking pretty grim here for AbsoluteMachine. Pack 40 there almost wiped out as well, which would open up for the HU-5. But the HU-5 here in the centre, trying to cover up the T-30-35. You can build the heavy Panzer Corps, but he's yet to build it. Guards there taking further losses, and so are the conscripts there. You've got Pioneers coming from the east. HU-5 ready here in the east as well. 31 versus 391, looking pretty bad there. AbsoluteMachine in the 350th Rifle Division. And PTS dropped. Guards are about to get wiped. HU-5 moving ahead, but there's no Panther 4. That one's pulled back to the base. Around the centre, engineers desperately finding. We've got another T-35 there. We've got smoke being laid down here again to cover up. HU-5 there being pushed back. T-35 there fixing itself up. Other one almost done. 21 points left here. Engineers there being dealt with, sent running. HU-5 there trying to use its main gun there to wreck the Pioneers out in the open. Small chance of landing a hit there. All 3 victory points now in the hands of Miragefla and the 7th Panzer Division. Mordecai, they're getting blasted by the 222s.
The enemy is about to defeat us. We have only 10 points remaining.
Almost got it wiped, in fact, but the T-55 that comes to the rescue, but then you got Grenadiers stemming in from the other side. Pretty much it's showing that heavy mortars threaten no matter what, and there we go, GG, game over. A loss for Absolute Machine, and the Soviet Union, the 315th, is forced to fall back and abandoning the crossing here to the German army under the command of Miragefla. So there we go. I mean, overall, Absolute Machine did all right in the beginning, but again, the problem basically became too focused on this part, just controlling it, and less just in sort of controlling the resources again, compared to, say, the recent match we had with them, on checkpoint again, we actually did better. They were trying to control the overall map there, controlling from 7 points and overall denying resources to his opponent. Here, Absolute Machine on the hand got bogged down around 1 point and not trying to more fluidly play around the other points. So that was, not quite so sterling play there. But I mean, again, he was close at several points, but again, sort of several tactical mistakes here and there, I think really sort of undercut Absolute Machine sort of more and more as the game sort of went on. And overall gained more and more advantage to Miragefla. Miragefla, by the way, could make better use of his doctrine. I think that was a bit of a weak one, I would say there, but Miragefla. But overall, a decent use of the machine gun bank. Overall, I think he countered sort of most of what Absolute Machine did pretty well, and also, kept him a nice arm distance for the most part there. So, I mean, nicely played there by Miragefla. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the match. Hope you learned something from it. Hope it gives you some more matches. If you did, subscribe, like, share, and comment on it. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Cheers.